Jay, I will have to tell you that Rocky Colavito, a generational hero, one of my childhood idols, probably the biggest childhood idol that I had, and that includes guys like Jim Brown, who played for the Brownies when I was a kid. But Rocky would always say that I am thankful God chose me to play in Cleveland. He adored this town. He adored our fans. A quick story. Rocky would tell his wife, Carmen, that it would take him 2 hours after every game that was not a travel day at Cleveland Municipal Stadium. If they weren't going on the road and he needed to get on a bus to the airport, he would tell Carmen, I need 2 hours. I need an hour to talk to the media. I need time with the trainer. I need time to shower. And he was a slow-moving guy anyway after a game. But he needed an hour for that. And then he needed an hour to sign autographs. Mm-hmm. People would wait around and know that Rocky was going to stand and sign every person's, especially the kids' autographs. So the fans adored him. He returned that love and affection. I don't know if there was another player who had the kind of adoration that Rocky had in his generation.
When you think about why he was such a fan favorite for Tribe fans, what would you put your finger on? What made him different than, say, we loved Mike Hargrove, we loved Jim Thome, et cetera, et cetera. What was it about Rocky?
Well, Rocky was certainly better looking than those two guys. Don't tell those guys I said that.
Yeah, Jim's going to come out of left field on you for that.
No, the handsome ruggedness. When Rocky was playing, he was 6'2", close to 200 pounds. I mean, a big guy in the game of baseball, and just ruggedly handsome and powerful. And then the fact that he adored the fans and would spend time with them. He was a guy that did a lot of youth sports banquets and things of that nature. So he reciprocated the love that fans gave him for his play on the field by trying to interact with them as often as possible. A lot different way back then, obviously, than, players of today being able to connect with people via all the social media platforms and such. And when you have just a few radio stations and a few TV stations to connect yourself with the public, you had to get out there.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things that separated him. But just the fact that he, was a league leader in home runs and RBIs, and just a powerful player with a powerful arm and right field. They didn't have Gold Gloves back then, but he had a season where he didn't commit an error. That was the one statistic that really stood out to me. I had no idea he was the first outfielder in the American League to complete an entire season without an error. Has it been done since? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure it has, because that was a while ago. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. But that was part of his total talent.
Here's another one, Bob. He hit 4 home runs in one game in 1959. That's incredible. He started that game with a walk, and then he was sitting in the dugout, and after I think the first one, he was going back for a fly ball, and a fan dumped a beer on his head and got him really angry. So he went up to the plate, and he tells the story. He was really mad, and so he went up to the plate and hit a home run, and then the second time hit another one, and
he's on fire and hits a third one, and he's sitting next to Herbie Score in the dugout. And Herbie says, "Hey, why don't you go get your fourth?" And he goes, "Hey, I'd be happy with a single." And he ends up hitting the fourth home run on that June date in Baltimore at their old ballpark. That was one of the more difficult ballparks to hit home runs in.
I was just about to say every field was over 400, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just, such a powerful player, both with his arm and with his bat, and he drove in runs, and just, an incredibly professional, respectable player. So I think that's probably, the basis of the love affair that our town had with Rocky. I'm of that generation. My two older brothers more so. I remember vividly prior to the 1960 season. He gets traded. Frank Lane trades him to Detroit for Harvey King, the batting champ. And my mother's crying. My two older brothers are crying.
But wait a minute. Rocky cried.
Yeah, absolutely. Herb Score cried. Herb Score went to Frank Lane and said, "Trade me." Those two were connected at the hip. They were roommates. They were the best of friends. They were brothers, truly brothers. And Herbie went to Frank Lane and said, "Trade me." And Frank wouldn't do that because Herbie was about to become the next Bob Feller, and
right.
Sadly, until he
till the accident
through,
yep.
Some of the issues, arm issues, and the accident of the ball hitting him.
So I gotta ask you this question, and then we got to take a short break. Is the curse of Rocky Colavito over now?
It's funny. I've had a lot of people text me that. Don't know if I ever believe that.
Boy, a lot of people in Cleveland do.
Yeah, that's the funny part is, every text that, "Hey, sorry to hear your friend, I've gotten in this job of mine for 40 plus years, a childhood hero becomes a dear, dear friend." And so people would send condolences, and they'd give a little story about their relationship with Rocky, and at the end they go, "Curse over?" ?
Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone. Hey,
you're not alone, Jay. You're not alone, buddy.
We'll be back in just a few to continue our chat with Bob DiBiasio from the Cleveland Guardians right here on Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set a second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Shop Meijer for thousands of last-minute gifts without any shipping. All ready for pickup in-store today. Choose from select board and card games like Jenga and Guess Who, now just $10 or less. Save on select Lego playsets, now 30% off. And Melissa and Doug toys are 25% off. Get everything you need for the holidays in one stop at Meijer. And and make your festive season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Stay safe this winter with help from Menards. Protect your windshield and keep your view clear with Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid. It's effective down to negative 35 degrees, and it clears ice and salt for a clean, streak-free shine. Pick up a gallon for only $2.39. Get everything you need for your vehicle at Menards, and view our weekly flyer on menards.com to view all our great deals happening now. Prices good through December 24th.
Season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Bob and Teresa Capace here. The holidays are the perfect time for your yes moment. Find the ring that captures your love at family-owned Worthington Jewelers. With over 1,500 styles and friendly expert guidance, you'll find the one.
Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Toyotathon is on. The perfect time to shop for a new SUV with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through January 6th, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 5.99 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models, with $1,657 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Is your home ready for winter? Is your home ready for merriment this time of year? If your windows are drafty, your guests are going to be cold. You should probably take care of that. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. If you act right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. There's no limit. You buy 4, you get 4. You get 20, you get 20. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 whole years of interest-free payments. Call them today, 614-502-5220. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit UWD.com.
This is Clark Kellogg, and you know how much I love basketball. Holiday Hoopla features 34 Ohio high school teams playing 18 games December 27th through the 29th at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. For game times and tickets, visit BleacherRepublic.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit OutdoorStewards.org.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy, the Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Back with Bob DiBiasio from the Cleveland Guardians. Let's talk about the holidays, Bob. Everybody gets a Christmas wish list, no matter how old you are, no matter if you're naughty or nice. We already got one wish in new starting pitcher Luis Ortiz from the Pittsburgh Pirates. What else is on the list? Let's start with hitting. What are we looking for?
Well, I think in the game today and the way we're built, any kind of power that you can grab to add to your lineup is always something that you're looking for. Whether that's big Christmas coming through, hard-working kid who really worked hard on his defense, both in right field, and had a chance to play first base in the big leagues, but he's worked hard as a defense at first and in right field and has an incredible arm, which he showed off in the postseason, but can obviously hit the long ball, puts a charge into it. But, you know, if we can get out there and from the offensive side would be, can we add a little bit of power to our offense that's pretty darn good when it comes to generating runs, getting on base, doing the things we do, stealing bases, and things of that nature.
What about pitching? Ortiz is a big pickup for us. Bieber's coming back. What else do we need?
Yeah, for the first time in a dozen years, maybe, it's starting pitching that we're looking at. Doug Nikhazy is a kid that we need to keep an eye on, and a minor leaguer. It's hard for the 15, 16 baseball teams, us, the Reds, the Pirates, the Orioles, the Twins, the Royals, et cetera, middle market teams to go out and dabble in the free agent pitching market, because it's just pretty crazy these days. So we had the philosophy many years ago, more than a dozen years ago, that the only way we were going to be a consistent, successful baseball team was to develop our own. And we've done that pretty darn well.
Absolutely.
Best bullpen in baseball last year. We've had consistent and very solid starting rotations for many, many years. But this year, starting pitching is something that we need to keep an eye on. If we can't fulfill the roles internally, we've got more than 65 days or whatever it is till spring training, so therefore 90-plus days till opening day. A lot of time to change the face of the American League, defending American League Central champs and postseason teams. So the stat that I love sharing, Jay, is just making sure people aware of the sustained winning culture that's been created in Cleveland with your Major League Baseball team. Over the last 12 years combined, we have the third best winning percentage of all 30 teams. The Dodgers have the most wins in the last 12 years combined. The Yankees are number 2. We are number 3. The Yankees only have 21 more wins than us in the last 12 years total, and they've spent more than $1.5 billion on players than we have, just to get 21 more wins over 12 years. So our guys know what they're doing.
Sounds like we have the better return on investment model. So,
well, if you look at it from that economic standpoint, the efficiency, the winning, we win that one.
So who's going to be the probable second baseman now that Andres Gimenez is off to Toronto to be a Blue Jay?
Well, it's funny. I heard Andre Knott, our TV guy, on the radio, and he was already anointing Juan Brito as the starter. Those in Columbus have seen Juan Brito hit the ball. He's a second baseman, right fielder, first baseman. We acquired him from the Colorado Rockies in the Nolan Jones trade, and I think Juan has an opportunity to step in. Angel Martinez, Tyler Freeman. From the internal candidates, I think those are guys who step to the forefront. Daniel Sneeman, who played, as a utility guy for us last year, performed well. But it was funny that I don't know if Stephen Vogt is in total agreement with Andre Knott at this point, as I said.
You got 90 days to figure it out.
That Juan Brito might have the inside track.
And you never know who's going to be invited to camp as a non-roster invitee who may make the team, because that's happened before.
Oh, it does happen. And, what was one of the biggest stories in the 2024 season for us was Cade Smith, and he was a non-drafted kid out of college, non-drafted free agent. So, you do find diamonds in the rough somewhere, or you inject life into a veteran player who gets an extra bounce in their step when they come to a ball club and there's an opening to be had and to be made.
My friend, there is no brighter diamond than you. I want to thank Cleveland Guardians Vice President of Public Affairs, Bob DiBiasio. And there's more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risks, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
It's been a fun year for most in Ohio sports, especially in the city of Cleveland. The Guardians had an incredible season, making it all the way to the AL Championship, and the Cavaliers started the season 15-0 and continue to lead the Eastern Conference. Sarah Jansen is the editor-in-chief of the World Almanac and Book of Facts. And Sarah, those weren't the only Ohio sports stories for 2024, were they?
Absolutely not. You know, I wouldn't claim to be an expert on Ohio sports, but we do have a lot of sports coverage in the World Almanac and Book of Facts, and there are definitely some Ohio connections there. One of the big stories just on the newsier side of things is that, of course, native son Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, passed away in September. So you saw a lot of these in memoriams include him as a player, as a manager, and also for his off-the-field activities. Definitely one of the more interesting sports obits I read in 2024.
I have to ask this question. How do you compile all of this data? Because one of the good things and most interesting things about the World Almanac and Book of Facts is that you guys go really deep for every location. You know, you did it for the political world, you do it for sports. How do you compile all the data?
You know, it's really just about accessing the best sources and then digging deep to make sure we're identifying what readers are actually going to want to find when they pick up any given section, look up any given topic. What do we think is the most essential or the most interesting or even just the most, foundational parts of every sport? For example, in baseball, no one has ever said that statistics weren't important to the game. And of course, the different numbers that fans rely on have changed over the last several decades. It's not just about hits and wins anymore. It's definitely gotten a lot more granular. So we're including numbers that are just a lot more detailed and that sports fans can really dig into because that's what they like to expect and talk about now.
Well, that's true. And the Guardians had 2 Gold Glove winners this year, Andres Jimenez, who they've unfortunately traded away, and then also the outfielder Stephen Kwan. And looking at defense, we were talking earlier in the show about former outfielder Rocky Colavito, who passed away this year, longtime member of the Indians, and he had a season where he didn't make any errors. That's almost unheard of.
Totally incredible. Just one of those quirky sports facts that makes you want to dig in and learn even more because you can't believe that that's actually a thing that has happened.
Right. Now, do you talk to your readers? Like, do you do focus groups to determine what goes into the book and what they're interested in? Or how do you gauge that consumption?
So the World Almanac doesn't do anything quite so formal and expensive as a focus group, but we do like to hear from our readers via email, or actually we do still get even mailed letters just about, what they like to see. We're listening to them on, what we could be doing better on, what they think we should be correcting or not. Sometimes we do have readers actually catch an error, and that's like an extremely exciting day for us because not only will that error never be repeated again, but it's just so rare that it happens that we sort of have a little acknowledgement of that here.
You don't make anybody go in the corner facing the wall and get caught for an error?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will say some editors are bigger on the self-flagellation than others, but we definitely don't encourage that. It's human to make mistakes, but it's also a big part of editing the World Almanac every year to ensure that we're making as few of them as possible. And part of that includes using fact checkers for every single number, every single word, every single statistic that goes into the book.
One of the things that appears in the book is your coverage of the Olympics, which was fantastic. And there were quite a few Ohioans who participated in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris.
You have the gold medal winning men's basketball team, obviously LeBron, but also Steph Curry was also born in Akron. You also have a Columbus native in Simone Biles, obviously a huge name in gymnastics and so much fun to watch during the Olympic Games this year. And then on the gold medal winning women's soccer team, of course, Rose Lavelle grew up in Cincinnati. So lots of Ohioans all over the Olympic Games this year.
And of course, Ohio sports enthusiasts are not just interested in Ohio sports, although Buckeyes fans will often tell you differently. But there's something for everyone in this book. So the question becomes, where can we get a copy, and is it still being published in text? Can you actually go to a bookstore and get it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can pick up the World Almanac really wherever books are sold, and this is the right time of year to do it because bookstores tend to keep a lot in stock just before the holidays. You can find it in the most familiar paperback format, but we also have a larger hardcover edition that's a little bit easier on the eyes. That paperback has reasonably small typeface to cram all of those facts and numbers into 1,008 pages. You can also pick up a ebook edition of the World Almanac and Book of Facts 2025. Download it to your device. The fun part about that one is that it's fully searchable and it's a little bit lighter to carry around than 1,008 pages of information and statistics in print.
Yep. Sarah Jansen is the editor-in-chief of the World Almanac and Book of Facts. Lots of sports stuff for you. And we'll be back with more of Ohio Sports Magazine after this on the Ohio News Network.
Morning Juice.
You want some bread with that butter? Like, I love, especially some good butter. Like, you get the Scottish, the orange, the yellow packet stuff.
Morning Juice. Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Here we come at Plumbing, we are known as Apex Pros. If you're plumbing...
Honey, there's carolers at the door. I'm not sure what they do.
Your furnace goes out, there's no one near. Apex Pros comes running.
Something about furnaces and plumbing, I think.
What? If your furnace dies or your pipes aren't clear, electric trouble in your home, Apex Pros are near.
No, it's not very good, is it? Come in.
Heating and plumbing, electrical too. Apex Pros knows what to do.
No, not really Christmassy to sing about plumbing and furnaces, is it? Oh, yeah, they got that guarantee. What's that called?
5-star guarantee.
Are they listening out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, I probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros. I don't know what Apex Pros is.
You did Apex.com.
At Meijer, we believe the holidays should be a special time. A time when families and friends can gather for the simple purpose of enjoying each other's company. From the gifts and decorations which make the moment, to the fresh ingredients that make the meal. Count on Meijer to bring the magic of the season to life with just one stop. We're always working harder to make the holidays a good deal better. Meijer, bring more good to the holidays.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now's the time to shop new deals at Lowe's. Get your choice of a Cobalt 8-piece standard or metric ratchet wrench set for just $39.98. That's a $60 savings. And save $50 on a Blackstone 28-inch 2-burner griddle. Was $249, now $199. Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Lowe's knows deals. Valid 12/19 through 12/25. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items. Subject to availability. Fees vary. Details at Lowes.com/same-day delivery.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A rainy start to the day for us, and the rain chances becoming a lot less likely throughout the day, but we'll still have some pretty good amounts of rain. Otherwise expected to be cloudy and breezy with our daytime highs in the upper 40s. Tonight, we do not cool off that much as our lows drop down into the mid to low 40s, but Monday, rain developing again and breezy winds continue with our temperatures soaring to the upper 50s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan. This is ONN.
The first ever 12-team college football playoff kicked off on December 20th. 4 games in the first round were on-campus sites around the country. Notre Dame in Indiana in South Bend, Penn State and Southern Methodist in College Park, Texas and Clemson in Austin, and in Columbus, Ohio State and Tennessee for the first time ever. The other 4 teams involved are the highest-ranked conference champions. Number 1 Oregon won the Big Ten. Second-ranked Georgia won the SEC. Number 9 Boise State won the Mountain West. Number 12 Arizona State was the champion of the Big 12. Those teams get byes into the second round or the quarterfinals. Paul Feinbaum covers college football at large for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS FM in Columbus. Bo asked Paul who has the most pressure to perform in the playoffs and who's just thrilled to be part of the 12-team field.
Well, I think the game in Columbus is the end of both extremes. I mean, listen, I don't need to tell your audience what's going on with Ryan Day. And I think that's the national narrative. On the other side of that, Josh Heupel, his fan base, I think, are literally happy to be in this thing. And they have almost no pressure whatsoever. They didn't back in. They didn't sneak in. They didn't get a choice of the committee like SMU did. Or Clemson, winning a terrible league. They were in the tough league, and they didn't win, but they also distinguished themselves from the next level. And I've been asked so many times this week, Bo, about Ryan Day, and I'm not there, and you are. Yeah. But I don't know exactly how it will go in terms of what happens if Ohio State loses, but I know what the national narrative is, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is, and that's out there, and that's something they're fighting. They are clearly 1 and second place is 8th with the most pressure on them. And I do think the opponent is an interesting one, and obviously one you're intimately familiar with. One thing that I've told the folks around here is the Tennessee passion would rival the Ohio State passion. It's the success that doesn't rival historically, and yet here they are. And so when we hear stuff like Neyland North, or they're trying to buy up tickets, or they're all trying to make that drive up from Knoxville, the reality is they haven't been in this dance much. What could you tell our audience about the Volunteer fan base and what to expect on Saturday night in Columbus if they do, in fact, invade, as much as they can anyway?
Yeah, in fact, I've heard more from Tennessee fans about invading than I am about a game plan to win the game. And I think it just shows you how long it has been. 1998 was Tennessee's last dance at a national championship. They had another 1 or 2 opportunities after that, but for the most part, since about 2003 or 4, this program has literally been on the dark side of the moon with countless mistakes in coaching and administrative issues. It's a program that really, if you go back to the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s, was one of the was Alabama's equal, but it is no longer. And if there's a fan base in the SEC that mirrors Ohio State, it is Alabama. National championships, famous coaches. Tennessee is not. And by the way, Bo, I say that as an alum, and I never make friends with my Tennessee brethren, but it's the truth. I mean, the program literally 5 years ago was just about out of business. They fired Jeremy Pruitt, maybe 4 years ago, and the program was about to get knocked apart by the NCAA. They were saved really by the changing wave of college football. And they brought in Heupel, who quite frankly had no resume and really no reputation whatsoever.
What has he done that others have failed at? Where has he succeeded?
Well, he's been able to navigate the quarterback position. He had Hendon Hooker, who transferred from Virginia Tech and led them to a great season 2 years ago when they upset Alabama when Alabama was number 1 in the country. The one thing that Tennessee has been unable to do is beat Georgia. They've beaten Alabama twice now in 3 years. They've beaten Florida, which is something that, by the way, I think until a year ago had only happened once in 17 years. So they've got stability. They have an athletic department that really excels in a lot of sports. They won the baseball championship, which really matters in the SEC. They've always been legendary in women's sports. They're the number 1 basketball team in the country. But football, which was always Tennessee's calling card, has been the biggest disappointment, and they feel like they finally have it turned around. Although this year, offensively, they have been a colossal disappointment.
What do you make of the actual matchup, and what challenges does Tennessee provide to Ohio State?
Well, I think Tennessee does a lot of what Ohio State tried to do against Michigan and failed. Dylan Sampson, the running back, is elite. He's probably the best running back in the SEC this year. They've got a couple of good receivers, but Nico has been he hasn't had a lot of great protection. Defensively, they are incredibly good, and if should they win the game, it's going to be on defense. Their biggest problem is if there's throw out the Vanderbilt game because that was essentially a home game for Tennessee and Nashville. Sure. But in the other road games at Oklahoma, at Arkansas, they have been unable to get anything offensively. I mean, the Arkansas game. I mean, Arkansas was a really mediocre team this year, but Tennessee couldn't score. And to beat them, I'm sure the Ohio State club coaching brain trust has already seen this. They just, if you shut them down, and like Georgia did as well, they can't go anywhere. The only time they started fast was against Georgia. They had a 10-0 lead, and then that was about it.
Yeah, one thing I've looked at a lot is the talent equate game. So in terms of a talent standpoint, Ohio State online with Georgia and Alabama. And I've looked at those two games a lot to just kind of see what Tennessee was able to do. And one thing that was clear is you can throw the ball on this Tennessee secondary. It's there for the having. Georgia threw it a bunch. Milroe threw it to them a couple of times, but didn't stop him from attempting 40 passes in that game. So there seems to be something on film that would lead you to believe that there are some advantages there. In terms of the other matchups this weekend, which one are you most curious about?
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Let's see. Buckeye football and basketball, lots of bowl games, NFL on Christmas Day, a lump of coal for Common Man. Am I missing anything? Oh, wait. Happy holidays from our family to yours, from your friends at The Fan.
Make the most of your holidays with the Kroger app. You can enjoy over $600 in digital coupons every week. Get access to low prices and earn fuel points to save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. The Kroger app makes it easy to save this holiday season. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on Kroger brand bone and hickory smoked spiral ham. Just 89 cents a pound with your card and additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bob and Teresa Capace here at Worthington Jewelers. Thinking of proposing this holiday season? Find the perfect ring to capture your love.
Family owned for 25 years with over 1,500 styles and a relaxed, no-pressure atmosphere.
Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Skyline gift cards make great last-minute gifts. Now through Christmas Eve, you'll get a free $5 gift certificate when you buy $30 in Skyline gift cards at participating Skyline restaurants. See store for details. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I'm gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Stock up on everyday essentials at Menards and save big money. We're your one-stop shop for pet food and supplies. Feed your pets Wild Side with Blue Buffalo dog and cat food. It's made with real meat and natural ingredients that your pets will love. Save big on Blue Buffalo pet food at Menards. And don't forget to visit menards.com to see our weekly flyer for all our great deals.
Season's greetings to you all from Menards.
This season, there's a system for every home and budget at Logan Services. Save big with our furnace sale. Payments start at $49 a month for 144 months. Plus, save up to $2,000 on a qualifying train system. Choose from our free stocking stuffers for extra home comfort. And don't forget about tax credits. Schedule your free estimate now and get next day installation with fast, friendly service from Logan Services.
Toyotathon is on. The perfect time to save on a new Toyota truck. Now through January 6th, get a great lease deal or $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 or 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or get 3.99 APR financing plus $1,000 APR cash on remaining new 24 Tacomas. With approved credit through TFS. Excludes TRD Pro and Trailhunter models. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Nobody builds trucks better than Toyota. Let's go places.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Let's catch up on the Cincinnati Bengals with our Paul Keels.
Well, once again, we get a chance to talk with Jeff Hobson from Bengals.com, and the Bengals coming off their win over Tennessee on the road. Butch, certainly a strange game when you think about all the turnovers and the penalties, but despite that, the Bengals found a way to grab a victory.
Yeah, I think at this point, Keels, this thing becomes a demolition derby. So if you come out of it with your engine still running, you're in good shape, and I think that's about right where they are. It was not pretty, but it's December. It's not supposed to be pretty, and they really got a good effort from their defense for the second week in a row, which is quite encouraging here going into the last three games.
Yeah, it sure is, considering some of the issues they've had at times on defense. Mike Hilton makes a big play, and boy, this is a guy, Butch, that really seems to kind of define what being a veteran football player is, doesn't he? Yeah, he is.
He's kind of seen his role dip a little bit this year. He's not playing on third down. His coverage hasn't been what it used to be, but he's still a great veteran. He and Von Bell split the duties. They have a weekly right where they meet with the DBs, no coaches. It's on their day off. They get a jump on the week ahead. So his role may have changed a little bit, but he's still one of the best slot corners in this league on first and second down in the last year of his deal. But he's still right there, hanging in, being a team leader. And you're exactly right, Kilzo. He returned to the scene of the crime 2 years ago. He was a major reason they beat the Titans in Nashville in the AFC divisional with a huge red zone pick. So I think everybody was happy for Mike Hilton.
I guess that folks are going to have to kind of start to get familiar with a linebacker by the name of Muma Jungmeadow, with the way he keeps making plays, Butch.
Yeah, he does. He's you know him well. He's a Big Ten guy via Wisconsin, and he's from the Chicago area. And, he's one of these classic undrafted free agent guys. He just always kind of seems to be around making a play. I mean, I think they actually felt like they had a shot for 3 return touchdowns on Sunday because Jordan Battle fumbled on the one, which would have been a 60-yard fumble return. They had Geno Stone's pick 6, and Muma had clear sailing for a fumble return touchdown, but the play was blown, they believe, mistakenly dead. So remember, Muma's the guy in Dallas who made the bad play where he let the punt blocked, but he kept his head down and ended up making a recovery. So, yeah, I think we all got to learn how to spell that thing. I think it's capital NJ, I think, is the start.
You are correct. Speaking of defensive players, and especially those that can expand their usage, Sam Hubbard catches a touchdown pass. I believe I read in some of your stuff, Butch, it's the first time that a Bengals defensive player has scored a touchdown on an offensive scrimmage down in the history of the franchise?
Yes, a pass. The first one to score on a pass.
Okay.
There was a guy named Bobby Hunt who in the first year of the franchise was a safety who scored on a 5-yard run. But you've got it. The favorite son of Buckeye Nation, Sam Hubbard, scored the first passing touchdown by a Bengals defensive player. It was a hell of a catch. That's the good news. The bad news is he suffered what could be a season-ending knee injury. He certainly won't play this week against Cleveland. But Sam Hubbard's about all the good things. You know that from being with him up there in Columbus. He's a team guy. He's a grinder. The Cincinnati kid. So he just adds adds a brick to the legacy. He won't have to buy a beer between here and Cincinnati, Columbus ever, and probably his grandkids won't either.
Probably not. Are we continuing to see the value of Chase Brown not only running the football but the way he's catching passes now, Butch?
Yeah, I mean, I got a story going up later, probably tomorrow morning, talking about how this guy's like a throwback to the West Coast days where you had your running back could, not only was he a feared runner, he was also a big-time pass catcher. I mean, he's become unfortunately, it was the injury to Zach Moss about 6 weeks ago that thrust him into the role as a three-down back, and he's been more than capable. Over the last month, he's been about as productive as any back in the league, except maybe a guy named Saquon Barkley. And he's working on 4 straight games with 100 yards from scrimmage. Had 25 for 92 Sunday in Nashville. And the thing they liked about that is he got 39 of them in the last drive when the Titans, their very formidable defensive front, knew that they were running. And he still gouged out 39 yards on 10 carries and killed the clock. They're loving some Chase Brown here in Cincinnati, Keelzo.
Jeff Hobson from Bengals.com. Butch, thanks for your time. Always appreciate it.
Keelzo, you're the best. Always a pleasure to spend a few moments with the voice of Ohio. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Getting a live Christmas tree to plant after the holidays? Well, here are some tips. In the house, keep it away from heat sources that could wake it up out of dormancy. You don't want that. Dig your hole now before the ground freezes. Or if you plan to wait till spring, you need to protect roots from extreme cold with mulch or straw. And move it from the warm house to an unheated area like a garage temporarily to make the transition outside more gentle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture at treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys discussed the report that Deshaun Watson will be competing for the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback job in 2025.
Our friend Mary Kay Cabot put out an article. I'm going to read the headline from this article. In case you missed it, why the Browns will give Deshaun Watson a chance to come back and at least compete for the starting job. Essentially, Mary Kay said
Deshaun has a chance to come back, win the starting job. It is not a done deal that he will no longer play with the Cleveland Browns. Guys, what was your reaction to seeing this report from Mary Kay that Deshaun might be competing
Jason,
for the
there you go,
Browns?
Jason.
Tell us it's a done deal.
There you go, Jason.
Tell us she's wrong and it's a done deal.
Let us know what you think about
I can't go on in this universe if you don't tell me right now.
I'm not going.
It's a done deal. I can't go on.
I ain't saying nothing. Go ahead, Jason.
I mean, listen, she is the queen of the Browns beat. She's the authority on all things Browns. She has more relationships in that building than anybody else does. The only thing I can tell you is that has not been my impression. They are moving on. There's going to be a different starting quarterback next year. Like, Deshaun will be on this team because of the roster or because of the cap
on
hit.
Paper, he'll be on the.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
At Meijer, we believe the holidays should be a special time. A time when families and friends can gather for the simple purpose of enjoying each other's company. From the gifts and decorations which make the moment, to the fresh ingredients that make the meal. Count on Meijer to bring the magic of the season to life with just one stop. We're always working harder to make the holidays a good deal better. Meijer, bring more good to the holidays.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds? Birds? What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now's the time to shop new deals at Lowe's. Get your choice of a Cobalt 8-piece standard or metric ratchet wrench set for just $39.98. That's a $60 savings. And save $50 on a Blackstone 28-inch 2-burner griddle. Was $249, now $199. Order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Lowe's knows deals. Valid 12/19 through 12/25. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Same-day delivery on eligible in-stock items. Subject to availability. Fees vary. Details at lowes.com/same-day delivery.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Common Man here. For every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free, no limit. Plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments. Call them today, 614-502-5220.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Come try Skyline Chili's new Mac and Cheese 3-Way, made with creamy cavatappi pasta in a 3-cheese blend, topped with Skyline Chili and their shredded Wisconsin cheddar. The new Mac and Cheese 3-Way at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
The holidays come but once a year, and Masterforce is here to spread some cheer with drivers and drills and blades and bits. From sanders and saws to power tool kits, Menards has the value and savings, of course. Shop tools and accessories from Masterforce. Find great stocking stuffers and gifts at Menards. Plus, don't forget about gift cards. Hurry now for deals on Masterforce. Available at Menards, the best tool source.
1, 2, 3. Here at the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
We want to thank Sarah Jansen and Bob DiBiasio for being with us this week on Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News